Yes.
Oh, it's not recording?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's all, bro. It's good. I'm telling you.
Welcome to 2nd and 26.
That's right. It's official, baby.
Honest to God, I didn't know you were recording, but y'all heard everything. Go ahead, man. Introduce the pod.
2nd and 26 podcast it's official. It's starting. Gonna be doing it once a week. That's it for as far as the podcast right now. I'm gonna get the introduction down, and we're gonna have an official type statement and all that stuff. But my name is Jay.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? King J all day, baby. You see what it is. 2nd and 26 podcast is here. It ain't going nowhere. I'm Jay. I am a certain age. Matter of fact, I'll put it out there. I'm 42. 42. I became my Bama genesis. I wasn't born a Bama fan. Unfortunately, my dad was in the military. We moved around. I didn't pick who I wanted to go for or none of that until my parents got divorced and my mom's from Alabama, so we moved back to Alabama. So we were watching the Iron Bowl. I was 11 years old, 1991, watching the Iron Bowl, and everybody in my house was an Auburn fan. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is like, I don't even know if Alabama won that year, but I know in '92 they won the national championship. And at that time, I was a Bama fan. But
what year was this?
This was 91. 91 is when we were sitting in the living room. I said, everybody in here has got orange on, orange and blue. I was like, everybody saying War Eagle. And then I heard the announcer, somebody on TV say Roll Tide. And I was like, what's that? I got closer to the TV, everybody yelling, talking about Auburn. And then the next day, my uncle, he was like, did you say Roll Tide yesterday? I said, I did. He said, are you an Alabama fan? I said, I think I am. And of course, he's an Auburn fan. And from that point on, 1991, I can't remember the exact date, but November 1991 is my Bama genesis. And from that point on, it is what it is. Roll Tide, baby.
I was born in 1991.
Wow.
So his fandom,
wow.
His fandom begins when I enter the earth.
Oh, wow.
It's all good. It's all good. I don't like putting my age out there, but I'm 31. Oh my God, it hurts.
You don't look 31, man.
I appreciate it. But yeah, it's crazy. I didn't know. I was in your family's from Alabama, but the way my family ended up to Alabama is kind of similar to how you guys did. We're both military and divorce.
Yep. We were destined. I'm telling you.
It was destined.
Yep.
Military and divorce has done more good for my life than anybody can know.
Same here.
But and I've told Jared this story. 2008. Well, first of all, let's back up. I grew up in Augusta, Georgia. My dad was, in the military. Lived in Germany, New York, all that kind of stuff. And I love, my introduction to sports was living in Georgia, Augusta. And growing up there, you either become a Georgia Southern fan or a Georgia Bulldogs fan. There's no Georgia Tech fans at all. If you're not trying to be an engineer or a music producer,
wow,
Georgia Tech is not, you ain't going to Georgia Tech for sports. Which I'm surprised Calvin Johnson. I'm surprised Calvin Johnson was there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But anyways, so I was a Georgia Bulldog fan, and for the longest I was a Georgia Bulldog fan, and then we moved. My parents got divorced, and we moved back home to Alabama, where my mom's from, and it was 2008. I was a Georgia fan all the way up until 2008, and how I got converted to Alabama, or at least saw the light that Alabama was the team for me is it was a blackout game. And I remember being in high school, I was telling everybody, yo, we putting money on this game. We got no shot, We got Matthew Stafford. There's nobody stopping this team. I think we was either ranked number 1 or number 3. I can't remember. I know Bama was ranked like number 8. I think it was number 3.
One of the, either 1 or 3. One of it was in there.
Yeah. But so we going into the game, and I'm like, there's no way y'all beating a team with no Sean Marino, Matthew Stafford, and whatever other superstar that we have on that team. Because at the time, Bama, Coach Saban had just got there in 07 or whatever year it was, and obviously they landed Julio Jones, and I'm thinking they ain't gonna be enough. That quarterback is not gonna beat this hellacious defense that we got. So blackout game, nighttime game. I'm thinking, man.
In between the hedges.
Bama on the road. Everything is against Bama. But little did I know back then, that's when Bama operates at their best. Yep. And the whole world is against them.
That's when the dynasty started.
So, first quarter of the game. It was just, I don't remember specifics. I know my heart was broken. And I think at halftime it was like 31-0. And obviously the second half Georgia made a comeback. But it wasn't enough because Bama just kept scoring and they kept getting stops. And, Georgia lost the game. And after we lost the game the next week at school, I talked to some of my homeboys or whatever. I'm like, y'all was right. I gotta adjust my sports fandom. And I still love Georgia, by the way. This is a Bama podcast. I love the state of Alabama. I love Nick Saban. But ever since that day, Georgia has been number 2 on my list of teams that I like. Nick Saban and Alabama just kind of like took a huge leap. Not just in that they won the game, it's the fact that what he's done, it's the things that he exemplifies as a leader, as a coach, and the stuff he puts into the program. Just about being about the team, discipline, all the things that sometimes are overlooked when it comes to being successful. And just the way he laid the foundation, it's like, man, like, I became a fan of that. I became a fan of that.
It's easy to become a fan of that. It's just, you see, like man, I'm real big on structure and structure and
it's almost military like.
Yeah.
That's what.
And it was easy for me. I was like, oh wow. And then the process is like, there's a process to it don't matter what you do in life. There's a process to everything. So I mean, getting out of bed. There's a process to getting out of bed. And you can't just on your feet. You gotta sit up, put your feet on the floor, stand up. There's a process, and it's just you gotta slow down enough to see like, oh wow, the process. But then he just took the process and put it on steroids and just created something that can't be tamed. I'm telling you, and it gets better every year. And the process, there isn't you can't just say write a book about the process. You can, but that's where it's going to stay, and that's where your program is not going to get better.
Yeah.
Nick Saban and the process is like technology today. Technology changes daily.
Mm-hmm.
Today's phone is going to be outdated tomorrow.
That is.
Today's process is going to be outdated tomorrow because Nick Saban is already updated. I'm telling you, it's constantly updating, and it's something that you can take and apply to your everyday life.
And that's why I'm a fan of Coach, because it's stuff you can. It's not just. It don't just apply to football. This is life stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason you know it works is because from 2007 to now 2022, on the verge of winning another national championship, which we'll talk more about as the season goes along, there's been no decline.
No.
It's been a steady ascension. It's either the ship has been maintained or we're going up to the next level.
Yep.
Even when people have thought that the dynasty is over, that's what Paul Feinbaum was talking about a couple years ago after we lost to Clemson. He was like, is the dynasty over? People asking these silly questions. But the thing that you got to understand, especially with the process, is that processes don't regress.
Nope.
Processes only move forward. If it was gonna move backward, it'll be called the regression.
Yep.
But it's a process.
Yep.
So that's the main thing. What I love about Coach and just the Alabama program, just being a fan of Alabama, is that it's just been a steady climb to the top. And even when other teams win a national championship, Clemson, other teams have their moment. Nobody wins 20 straight or 14 or 15 straight. But we've been always that Goliath.
Yep. It doesn't matter who wins the national championship. It don't matter.
Yeah.
Alabama's still
Alabama's still the team to beat.
Yep. It don't. Everybody want. This may have been 5-6 years ago when everybody said we want Bama. That's still today. I think because everybody thinks if they beat Bama, oh man, that's their national championship.
Teams get excited.
Exactly. That's why everybody thinks that when we play Texas A&M at home this year, that oh man, that Nick Saban won't have these boys ready for a revenge game. But that's not how he coaches. Yeah. That game is not more important than the national championship. I mean, yes, there's more on the line, but the same approach that he takes to the national championship, he's going to take to that game. Yes, there's a lot more at stake because I'm telling this year we have something to prove with Texas A&M because, like Nick Saban said, and I think we said this last year. Last year was a rebuilding. We said last year
at the start of the season,